Ang stigma at diskriminasyon ang nagsisilbing mitsa upang patuloy na lumaki at lumaganap ang apoy ng epidemya ng HIV sa ating bansa. Despite decades of scientific advances in prevention and treatment, as well as widespread awareness-raising efforts, irrational fears of HIV infection and negative attitudes towards key affected populations are a persistent barrier to addressing the HIV epidemic. Stigma and discrimination affect their emotional well-being and mental health, and most of them often internalize the stigma they experience and begin to develop a negative self-image. Internalized stigma can lead to feelings of shame, fear of disclosure, isolation, and despair. Shame leads people to behave in ways that may be against their best interests, and it can lead people to engage in risky behaviors. Fear of persecution and negative outcomes, such as violence, abandonment, and relationship breakdowns, can keep people from accessing HIV services. Based on the latest HIV data, sexual contact among males who have sex with males is the predominant mode of transmission in the country. This would mean that most MSMs are still not accessing prevention services. The lack of available and accessible HIV services intended for them is another form of discrimination. Ang RA 1166 ay naisabatas upang di lamang makapagbigay ng maayos at dekalidad na programa at serbisyo na tutugon sa pangangailangan ng key affected populations. Ito din ay naglalayo na protektahan ang karapatang pantao at para mahinto ang stigma at diskriminasyon. Mahalaga ang mag-report ang sino mang makakaranas ng diskriminasyon upang ito ay maitama at mabigyan ng karampatang parusa ang mga lalabag sa batas. Dahil kung walang magsusumbong ay wala ding mananagot at patuloy lamang nalalaganap ang paglabag sa karapatang pantao na siya namang magbubunsod sa paglaki ng epidemya ng HIV. HIV stigma is rooted in a fear of HIV. Many of our ideas about HIV come from the HIV images that first appeared in the early 80s. There are still misconceptions about how HIV is transmitted and what it means to live with HIV today. But we have come a long way. Advances in prevention and treatment have made HIV just like any other chronic infections. However, the lack of information and awareness combined with outdated beliefs lead people to fear getting HIV. In addition, many still think that only certain groups of people can get HIV, such as males having sex with males, which leads to negative judgments about people who are living with HIV. Anyone can get HIV. It is not who you are, but your actions or inactions that could make you at risk of getting HIV. One critical step to achieve our 1990 targets is to achieve our fourth target, which is to eliminate the HIV-related stigma and discrimination. In breaking our silence, we will stop ignorance, which fuels fear, which in turn fuels stigma and discrimination. Hindi lamang sapat na alam natin ang ating mga karapatan, kailangan din nating mag-demand na matamasa at ma-enjoy ang karapatang ito. At kung may sino mang mag-aabuso, dapat ay i-report mo.